I think you might be surprised with what some of the fans are thinking right now. Social media reactions brought to you by Scheibman Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. Just got done talking about Dillon Gabriel and everything going on. Owen, you got some of the reactions over there.
Carlito's way. Ken, you are flat out lying now. Some folks should not talk sports at all. Now Ken has lost all credibility.
Yes, because I lost mine like last week. Ken lost it this week, so it's going to be a weird show.
Guys,
Owen, take the con.
We are the most uncredible show in Cleveland.
Hey, man. Been doing it a long time. I know this is your guys. Some of you guys, this is your first rodeo. This is not mine, and it probably won't be the last. When it comes to QB quarterback controversies, I'm only telling you the truth. If there's anything that does bother me, there's a lot of folks that have just wrapped themselves up in their version of the truth, and everything else is a flat out lie, and they refuse to believe it. They refuse to believe it. Guys, just because I say it, don't mean I agree with what they're doing. I don't agree with what they're doing. I don't agree with rolling Dillon Gabriel out there every single week. I think it's counterintuitive to what he's doing. I would have taken him 94th overall. I mean, good God. But that's what they're doing. But the whole thing about, and I've read it all. Well, he was Barry's pick. Okay. You want to believe that, you go right on ahead. And if you've just wrapped yourself up into this, and I'm sorry, I guess you're just going to call me a liar and say that I'm not telling you the truth. I can deal with that because I know I'm telling you the truth. But this is regardless of what you think of that, whoever that was, it's not a good situation. They're 2-7. Eventually, I would like to get to Shedeur Sanders. I like to get to Shedeur Sanders sooner than later. I don't think that Kevin. I mean, of all the conspiracies that we hear, Kevin hates him. I don't think Kevin hates him. They all share agents. A lot of guys share a lot of agents all over the place. I think that of all the silly conspiracy theories, that might be the silliest one. I think that Kevin has his ways, and I tell you what, where I disagree with this guy over here, I don't mean to call out Nick, but I'm going to because I agree with him. You took umbrage with something Nick said earlier this week, and I say, no, I can see where Nick's saying that because I've said that about someone else. Go ahead and say that. Go ahead and say what Nick said.
That Kevin Stefanski, he would rather lose his way than win any other way.
So he said that, but he said that about the quarterbacks, though. Mm-hmm. Not just lose his way.
Well,
you mentioned quarterbacks specifically when you told me.
He's been pretty adamant that Kevin is very, very stubborn. And
do we have audio of this incident? Oh, we do. Okay,
got about a minute.
Go right on ahead and hit it.
And I think Stefanski's backed himself in this corner. If you keep going down the road with Dillon Gabriel, you're going to lose your job. And maybe that's what he wants. So maybe that's just a win because it's what he wants. But if you keep going with Dillon Gabriel, you're going to lose a bunch of games and you're going to lose your job. If you go to Shedeur and Shedeur looks great, then the answer is, how was your evaluation that Dillon Gabriel was better than Shedeur?
I think that Stefanski is comfortable losing with Dillon, maybe more comfortable than he is winning with Shedeur, right? Because he trusts Dillon Gabriel. There's something that Dillon did in the pre-draft process and since that has earned an incredible amount of trust, and Shedeur has not done that. For Stefanski, I'm saying. What if he understands that if Joe Flacco looks bad here, and obviously looks good in Cincinnati, and then Dillon Gabriel looks bad, and then you play Shedeur and Shedeur looks bad, it's not going to really help Kevin in any way going forward because I think Kevin is expecting if this doesn't work out, he can turn around and have his pick of the jobs.
I think it'll just be another notch on his belt that way. I think it'll be, that's quarterback 13 that you haven't been able to go ahead and turn around. I don't think the reaction based off of a group of NFL personnel that let Shedeur Sanders slide to the 5th round is going to hold it against him for not being able to make Shedeur Sanders be great.
So when I hear that, I go back to what I said. This is why I don't completely throw off what Nick is saying. Now, I don't think that Kevin's interested in losing football games, but I've told you this before. We did this with Nick Chubb. I told you if Vince Lombardi came down from heaven and looked at Kevin in a vision and said, Kevin, you are going to win this game. If you run Nick Chubb in this game 30 times, you will win it. I think Kevin would pause and look up and say, you didn't guarantee me I'd lose it. I think they have their ways, but I think every coach has their way of doing these type of things.
I don't know, though.
I don't think he trusts Shedeur Sanders at all.
I don't think he trusts. I don't think he trusts either him or Gabriel. He just trusts one more than the other.
You took the words out of my mouth. I don't think he trusts either or. But because I've said that about, and you didn't knock that down, by the way, when I said that about Nick Chubb years ago, that's where I'm like, okay, I can kind of get where Nick's thinking on this. I think this whole situation has made us all borderline insane and desperate, and that's why I had to come to an epiphany a couple of weeks ago going, why am I trying to save all this? I didn't make this decision. I got to look forward. Forget trying to save this. This is beyond saving. I don't need to save Andrew Berry's terrible decisions, and I don't need to save Kevin Stefanski's terrible decisions. But we've all reached a point of craziness in some level here this season. And so when he says that, I'm like, well, no, I've said that about him and Nick Chubb before, so I can understand where Nick's coming from there. I have to disagree with you.
But 2 years ago, do we not remember 2 years ago when Flacco came in, the offense was changed immediately. Like this whole thing that he will only use up, he changed the offense. He allowed the offense to get changed completely for Deshaun Watson, going into last year. And obviously that did not work at all because Watson wasn't capable of running any offense at his stage or wherever he was in his headspace or physical space. So I have seen him definitely be willing to change things.
And when folks
I just think these are things we say about losing coaches. They're stubborn and they'll never change. And it's I don't know, there have been some factors that have kind of come along the way.
But it's also why I'm not going to turn him into a scapegoat either. If you want to get rid of him, fine, get rid of him. I want to wait until after the year, but I don't want to make that decision now. But if you feel that it's come to its crescendo, fine. Go ahead and move. But I'm not letting anybody else off the hook of that, because the ones who want to look at it on the other side and go, well, Ken, what about Jamar Chase and what about T. Higgins? Okay, I'm not making an argument for Andrew Berry either, am I? Because if it comes down to it, all right, it's been one really great draft against 5 other ones that, for a lot of ways, I mean, if you really wanted to pick them apart and get nasty about it, it's not a very hard job to do. So that doesn't help out either. So I need to make sure it is clear. Like, it's either, to me, it's all, or I don't want to say nothing because I think the fans would go nuts, but it's all or all. Like, if they're going to do it, it's got to be everybody there, because you can't have one without the other on this. Andrew Berry himself said they were thought partners. So if they're all thought partners together, well, then you're in and out of this together. 216-474-0092. Mike in Cleveland, you're first up on the Fan. Hello.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hi.
Yeah, I don't think the players would, kind of voice their opinion. I've seen it happen after the Browns get rid of players, and then they, may say something. But if you do something like that in the middle of the season, they'll probably say, "Oh, that's like a cancer to the locker room" and stuff like that. But one way you'll find out, if they put Shedeur out there and they start blocking better and start catching better and running better passes and stuff like pass patterns, that'll let you know. That,
well, Mike, what Lima's saying, and I have no reason to disagree because it's happened several times in the history while this station's been on the air, is that you're not hearing the inside building sources saying that he's ready and that we are wasting time with Dillon Gabriel. We've heard that in several other instances with Browns quarterbacks controversies in the past. We're not hearing that yet. Now, I think they might be going through the motions and saying nice things about Dillon Gabriel right now, but I don't know if they're going to say it's getting any better with the guy behind him.
It does sound to me like that, Mike, that they are just saying the nice things to pay lip service to, well, that's our quarterback, we support him. But what they say publicly and what they say privately oftentimes are conflicting.
Yeah. So I don't think they'll do that, not now anyway, But like I say, the players show whether they appreciate Shedeur better than Dillon if he ever gets in there.
Well, yeah, we've seen that too as well. Mike, thank you very much for the call. Plus, I would expect it anyway because I think it's a new beginning. I think it's a new beginning where it's like, hey, let's get him off on the right foot here because we don't want to repeat what the hell's going on already. Because you guys have already been through the carousel, so it's true. If you feel that bad about a guy who's playing quarterback for you, and you do get to a point where it's like, hey, we got to make a change here. All right, well, let's get him off on the right foot here. Let's see if we can revitalize these things. I mean, this is why you make these decisions. Give me the energy. Give me to see if the know-how. Can we be better with this guy playing? So I think it's only natural that they would do something like that. Larry in Cleveland, you're next up on the Fan. Hello, Larry.
Hey, guys. Thanks for your show, man. I'd like to say, man, we got to get rid of this cancer. Stefanski's a cancer, man. He's not letting nobody really play. Then he have no enthusiasm, no character about his players. I mean, man, you got some identity, man. Come on, man. Shedeur should have been playing. Man, we want to see Shedeur versus Lamar. That brings money in. Come on, man. We got to be positive. Fire Stefanski and put the defense.
Larry, you're on speakerphone. I can barely understand what you're saying. I know you called Kevin a cancer, but other than that, I can't understand what you're saying, man. You got to get on the guys. Get on the phone. Get off speaker.
Also, I think we're kind of We don't need to exaggerate.
No, call in tomorrow.
To call the coach a cancer.
Well, Larry,
do we think 53 men are walking around and go, you got this cancerous head coach?
I bet there's some of them. It is an NFL roster. I mean, they are 2-7.
I mean, we would. I know we've seen some blowouts. Wouldn't we see some? Oh my God, they didn't even show up moments. We haven't really seen that. These guys have been fighting for at least a half. Would you do that for a cancerous head coach?
You sure you're going to be able to say that on Monday?
No, I expect Baltimore to roll in a big way this week.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's because Stefanski's a cancer. No, I think it might be that there is a talent disadvantage at quarterback for these two teams.
Larry, I'm just saying, I will hear you out. You got to get off the speakerphone because I couldn't understand anything else other than